This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going on a journey, exploring the world of robots.
Robots, huh?
Yeah. We'll be looking at ancient tales of automata, tracing, how robotics evolved.
Okay, cool.
We'll look at innovations, even peek into the future. So whether you're really into tech,
Right.
or you're just, curious about the robots we see every day, get ready for some aha moments.
You might be surprised to know that the idea of automated machines, they've been around for centuries.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like practicality mixed with a little bit of like whimsy,
I have to admit, when I think robots, I'm picturing sci-fi movies.
Right, right.
Where does this story really begin?
Well, we got to go way back to ancient civilizations. There are stories about automated machines in cultures all over the world. For example, in China, there's this story from the 11th centuries in the Lokopanati. It talks about these mechanical robots.
And mechanical robots in the 11th century.
Yeah, they were called Buddha Vahanayanta.
Yeah.
They were guarding Buddha's relics.
Wow. So sophisticated machines protecting sacred treasures.
Exactly.
Like something out of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Are there any other examples of these really early robots?
Oh, tons. There's another story about King Mu of Zhou, also from ancient China. This engineer named Yan Shi, he presents the king with this life-size automaton. It was made from leather, wood, and get this, artificial organs.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
I know, right? The level of craftsmanship back then, it's mind-boggling.
Absolutely. How did they even...
I know, right?
What other ancient robotics marvels are waiting to be discovered? It's fascinating.
Right.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of ancient texts. They're filled with mentions of these fascinating automatons.
Okay.
For instance, Al-Jazari, a 12th century inventor, he designed this programmable musical machine. It's imagine a medieval jukebox.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I know, right?
Yep.
It's an early ancestor of, programmable devices that we have today. And then there are even these accounts of flying automata in ancient Chinese texts.
Really?
Yeah, like the Ma Yuan.
Yeah.
They were artificial wooden birds designed by Mozi and Lupin.
It's like they were already thinking about drone technology back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that desire to create machines that mimic life, or there's parts of it. It's been with us for a long, long time.
Yeah. So when did we actually get the word robot?
Robot, that pops up in the 20th century.
Okay.
We can thank Karel Apek. He was a Czech playwright.
Okay.
He introduced robot with his 1920 play
Okay.
called R.U.R. Rossum's Universal Robots.
RQR.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It was actually his brother, Joseph, who came up with the term.
Oh, okay.
He got it from the Slavic root robot, meaning labor.
Oh, interesting. So a word about work for machines designed to work.
I know, right? And the play actually, it explored these themes about automation, labor, the relationship between humans and machines, still relevant today.
It was ahead of its time.
Absolutely.
So when did robotics actually start to resemble, what we see today?
Well, in the mid-20th century, electronics arrives, and that really changed everything. This British neuroscientist, William Gray Walter, he created the first electronic autonomous robots in 1948.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had nicknames Elmer and Elsie.
Elmer and Elsie.
Yeah, I know, right?
What had the cows?
Well, they looked like tortoises, actually.
You know?
Pretty simple, but their behavior was surprisingly complex.
I read somewhere that around the same time computer numerical control, or CNC machine tools, were developed. How did that affect robotics?
That was huge. CNC machine tools, pioneered by, John T. Parsons and Frank L. Stulin.
Okay.
They used punch tapes to control machine movements. Basically, computer numerical control. It means a computer is controlling the tool's movement.
Okay.
This laid the groundwork for the programmable robots we have today.
I see, yeah. And then in 1954, George Devol creates the Unimate, right?
Exactly. The Unimate, it was the world's first commercial, digital, and programmable robot. A total game changer. Devol's company, Unimation, they sold the first Unimate to General Motors in 1961.
Okay.
And it started working in a car factory in New Jersey.
I think I remember reading that its first job was lifting hot metal pieces from a die casting machine.
You got it.
Which is a pretty dangerous job for a human.
Super dangerous, yeah. The Unimate marked the beginning of a new era in manufacturing. robots taking over jobs too dangerous or too boring for people.
So robots have been changing the workplace for decades.
Absolutely.
What about the different types of robots that we have today? I think, most people picture like a humanoid figure
Right, right.
when they hear a robot, but there's so much more to it than that, right?
Way more. The robot world is way more diverse.
Yeah.
We got telerobots. They're operated remotely by humans, like the Mars rovers.
Right.
They're like our eyes and hands on another planet, controlled by scientists millions of miles away.
That's incredible.
I know. What other types? Well, there are swarm robots. They're inspired by, insect colonies
Oh, cool.
designed to work together in large numbers like ants or bees. And then we got haptic interface robots.
Right.
They're used in virtual reality
Right.
to give users a sense of touch, to make virtual reality feel more real.
So it's not all about building robots that look like us. It's about, the best design for the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From robots that clean up nuclear waste to robots that assist with like super delicate surgeries, the variety is incredible. And to really appreciate their capabilities, we need to like look under the hood,
Okay, let's do that.
Right.
What are the essential components of a robot?
At the heart of every robot, motors. They're the muscles, giving
Right.
power for movement. There are tons of types of motors, each with their own, pros and cons.
Like electric motors, which are common in portable robots.
Yeah.
Then there are the bigger, more powerful AC motors used in like industrial robots. And I think there are linear actuators, which move in straight lines.
You got it. And some researchers are looking into get this elastic nanotubes to create artificial muscles. Imagine more human-like movements
Wow, that's pretty cool.
and incredible strength.
That's like science fiction becoming reality.
I know, right?
But robots need more than just muscles, right?
You're telling me. They also need sensors to sense their environment.
Okay.
These sensors are like the robot senses,
Yep.
sight, hearing, touch.
Right.
So they understand their surroundings
Yeah.
and can respond to changes.
So what kind of sensors are we talking about?
Well, you got cameras and LiDAR for vision, microphones for sound, tactile sensors for touch, even specialized sensors for things like temperature, pressure, or chemical composition. It all depends on the job.
I see. So each sensor gives the robot a piece of the puzzle,
Exactly.
helping it understand the world.
Right. But to turn that understanding into action, you need end effectors.
Okay.
They're like the robot's hands or tools,
Got it.
the parts that interact directly with the world.
So you mean like grippers for grasping, suction cups for lifting, even more specific designs for welding or surgery?
Absolutely. The end effector's design, it's crucial for the robot to actually do its job right. And all these components, the motors, the sensors, the end effectors, they're all controlled by the robot's control system. That's like the brain.
Okay, so the control system ties everything together like the conductor of an orchestra.
Exactly. Control systems can be simple, like pre-programmed sequences, or really complex, like AI algorithms
Okay.
that let robots learn and adapt to new situations.
Speaking of AI, that's a whole other level of complexity, like almost giving robots the ability to think for themselves.
I know, right? AI is revolutionizing robotics, no doubt. Things like machine learning, deep learning, they're allowing robots to do super complex tasks, things that used to be impossible for machines.
Like navigating a crowded room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or recognizing and manipulating objects.
Right.
The more AI advances, the smarter and more capable robots become, which opens up all sorts of possibilities.
So AI really is like unlocking the potential of robotics.
Absolutely.
This has been fascinating. We've gone from ancient robots to the dawn of modern robotics, even got a peek at how they're built.
I know, right? It's pretty cool.
Where do we go from here?
Well, from here, let's see how this tech it's being used today. Robots are already out there working hard.
Oh, yeah. In all sorts of fields, right?
Totally. From medicine to manufacturing, even space exploration.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much they're impacting our lives.
Can you give us, like, some specific examples?
Oh, for sure. In medicine, you got surgical robots. They're helping surgeons, incredible precision, less invasive procedures.
Yeah.
And then there are robotic prosthetics. They're giving amputees their mobility back, a new lease on life.
I've seen videos. Those prosthetics move so naturally.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. What about other industries, like manufacturing? How are robots used there?
Oh, they're handling way more complex tasks now, even working alongside humans collaboratively. It's leading to more efficiency, more productivity, and safer factories.
Right. And we can't forget about robots in space,
Oh, right.
like those Mars rovers. It's amazing what they can do in such extreme environments.
Totally.
Hmm.
They're not just exploring planets, though. They're also helping us repair satellites, assemble space stations, even explore the ocean depths.
It really seems like the possibilities are, like, endless.
They are vast.
Yeah.
And as AI keeps getting better, we can expect robots to tackle even bigger challenges.
Mhm.
Like climate change, disease, poverty.
It's exciting, but also a little scary to think about, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the future holds. But even with all this progress, aren't there still challenges for robotics?
Of course, yeah. One of the biggest ones is getting robots to work in, like, messy environments,
Oh, okay.
unstructured environments.
Yeah.
The real world's unpredictable. Robots often have trouble navigating that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, programming a robot for a factory is one thing, but a crowded street or a messy house,
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Another challenge is getting them to learn and adapt. Right now, most robots need a ton of training, even for simple things.
Hmm.
And any little change can throw them off.
So we need robots that are, like, more flexible, robots that can think on their feet.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, there's safety and reliability, especially when robots are working with people.
Right.
We need to know they'll act predictably, that they won't accidentally hurt someone.
It seems like there's still a long way to go before we have, like, that Jetsons future, robots integrated into our lives.
True, but the progress we've made, even in just the last few decades, it's incredible. Who knows what the future holds?
So where do you see robotics going in the next, say, 10, 20 years?
Oh, it's tough to predict the future.
Right.
But I think robotics will keep evolving at, like, an insane pace.
Hmm.
We'll see them become even smarter, more versatile, even more part of our daily lives.
What about those ethical concerns we talked about earlier? Do you think we'll be able to, like, handle them?
I'm hopeful. If we have open conversations, about what robotics means, include different perspectives, and focus on responsible innovation, I think we can use this tech for good.
So the future of robotics isn't just about, like, the tech itself. It's about the choices we make.
Exactly. Now let's talk about something really interesting. Artificial life.
Hmm.
It's been fascinating scientists and sci-fi writers forever.
Creating life from scratch? That's wild.
It is, but it makes you think, what does it even mean to be alive? What is consciousness?
Right. It's, like, really deep questions.
I know, and it's something being researched in labs all over the world.
So what advancements have there been?
Back in 2010, researchers at the J. Craig Venter Institute, they created the first synthetic bacterial cell.
Really?
Yeah, they built life from non-living parts.
That's insane. It's like we're changing the rules of nature.
In a way, yeah. And since then, there have been tons of breakthroughs in synthetic biology. Building synthetic genomes, engineering cells to do totally new things.
So scientists are, like, designing new life forms. What are the potential uses for that?
The potential is huge. New medicines, biofuels, materials with crazy properties.
Yeah.
But it does make you think about the risks, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, are there ethical things we need to consider when we talk about creating artificial life? Absolutely. The more power we have to design life, the more careful we have to be. Think about the consequences. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
That's a good point. Gotta weigh the benefits against the risks.
This is your need to know. This is your need to know. This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Now let's switch gears a bit. Artificial intelligence and how it's shaping the future of robotics.
AI. It's everywhere these days.
I know, right?
How is it impacting robotics?
Well, it's letting us build robots that can do super complex tasks. Things we thought only humans could do.
Like what?
Like navigating crowds, recognizing and picking up objects, interacting with humans in a more natural way.
So it's like AI is giving robots this intelligence and adaptability that they didn't have before.
Exactly. Machine learning and deep learning are a big part of that. Imagine, instead of programming every single scenario, we can just give a robot data and let it learn like we do.
So it's like the robot's learning from experience, getting smarter.
Yeah, and as AI gets better, robots will be able to do more, be more independent, opening up possibilities in tons of fields.
AI really is the key to unlocking robotics potential. But what about the ethical side of AI? I've heard concerns about bias, AI systems making inequality worse.
That's an important point. We have to be mindful of the ethics of AI, especially as it becomes more part of our lives.
So how can we make sure AI is developed and used responsibly, especially with robots?
I think transparency and accountability are key. We need to design AI systems that are fair and that minimize bias.
Makes sense. AI should benefit everyone, not just a few.
Exactly. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used in good ways and bad ways. We need to guide its development, make sure it's used for good.
So the future of robotics, it's not just about the tech, it's about making ethical choices.
Precisely. We have to think about the consequences of what we create and work together to make sure AI and robotics build a better future for everyone.
That's important to keep in mind as we explore all this potential.
Wow, it's amazing to think how far robotics has come.
Mhm.
From those like ancient stories of automata
Right.
to, AI and synthetic biology. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
Yeah,
And honestly, I have way more questions now than answers.
that's a good thing. It means you're really thinking about it all.
Yeah.
And you're right, robotics, it brings up some huge questions. We're not just talking about machines, we're talking about what it means to be human, to be intelligent, to be alive.
Exactly. And this isn't just for like scientists and engineers to talk about. This is a conversation everyone needs to be a part of.
I agree.
The future of robotics, it's going to impact all of us. So
Yeah.
we should all have a say in how that future looks.
Absolutely. We need to think about the ethics, the impact on society, the potential benefits, and the risks. It's a lot to consider.
It is. So let's turn to you, the listener. What do you see robots doing in society, let's say, 50 years from now? Will they be partners, helpers, replacements, or something we haven't even thought of yet? It's something to think about.
Right. The future isn't set in stone. We make it with the choices we make today.
That's true.
And that's what's so fascinating about all this. Robotics is always changing, pushing the limits of what's possible, making us think about our relationship with technology, and even what it means to exist.
It's all about exploring, questioning, and imagining. And I hope this deep dive, it made you curious and gave you a glimpse into the incredible world of robots.
We went from ancient myths to modern marvels, from the basics of how robots work to the big questions about AI and synthetic biology.
It's been quite a journey.
But I think the most important thing is that the future of robotics, it's not happening to us. We're the ones creating it.
So keep asking questions, stay curious.
And remember, the future is in our hands.
Who knows what we'll create next?
That's a great place to leave it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of robots.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring.
This is your need to know. Concrete jungle, steel-clad dreams. Urban heartbeats, neon streams. Streetlight symphonies play while shadows dance and sway. Skyscraper mountains touch sky. Subway veins run deep, run dry. City pulls quick and strong, million lives building jobs. Rise against the machine. Black holes raw and unseen. Hearts ignite, spirits fight, humanity burns. Burns bright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clockwork routines shatter. Time's chains no longer matter. Breaking molds, forging new resistors. Search current proof. Copperfield mornings, rush hour tides. Cubicle mazes where free will hides. Lunch break rebels plot and scheme to break free from consumer dreams. Weekend warriors on for fight. Passion projects burn through night. Creativity flows like wine as minds expand and intertwine. Rise against the machine. Black holes raw and unseen. Hearts ignite, spirits fight, humanity burns. Generations of expectation, forging paths of liberation, redefining success and worth, new world order.